Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a Cats Hit the Deck review, and I am going over the Wild Unknown Tarot. So my box is a little bit busted over here on the corners, but we have this lovely drawing here. Just a little arrow where the magnet is to open it up. Top, bottom, backside. Got a pentacle, sword, wand, and cup on it. There we go. Okay. And the inside says, "May you always be on your quest," and there's a little infinity there. I think there were some guts in here originally, which I tore out because I keep some other stuff in here now. The magnet's pretty strong still. So we have the box, and then we have a book. The same image on it. I believe that's the world card image. So we have Kim Krans. She's the author and illustrator. And we have Harper One is the publisher for this. Okay. So it's this sort of like matte vinyl-y coated paperback binding. This is the pattern that's on the back of the cards. Right there. So this is a really thick kind of crispy paper stock. 207 pages with black and white images. That's definitely the world card of the cards. It's in sections. So the major arcana. I guess the minor arcana are beforehand, obviously, since there's other sections. Pentacles and so on. There's a little intro here with some spreads and how to use the deck and all that. Little information about drawing the tarot and whatnot. So this is the Wild Unknown Tarot. There's also the Wild Unknown Spirit Animals, and I'll be reviewing that separately in the future, which is like an oracle deck. And then there's also the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which is a new deck that I just got recently. I did my May horoscope readings with that, and I'll be reviewing that at some point in the future. So the Wild Unknown Tarot, Spirit Animals, and Archetypes, all by Kim Krans, and this is the OG here. This is the first tarot that I bought for myself because I was dog sitting for a friend and she had this and I was messing about with it and I liked the drawings, so I got one for myself. Although hers just had a little fold up sheet in the box, and I feel like they were bigger, but I could be mistaken. So there's just a little fold-up sheet in there. This one actually came with a guidebook, which I read the once, so it's still brand spanking new, kind of. And I get the box. I'm not I'm not like super box keeping person. I used to for my dolls, but for the tarot, these boxes I find handy to. This one I store some of the books in, and the little tags that I use on my weeklies and for the horoscopes. So I have the tarot comes in its own box. It's got these. This is upside down from the cover right now, but it's got the same little suit symbols from the back of the box and little stars and things. I really like this sort of marker and watercolor vibe that's here. So the cards do have color on them, although it's sort of, they're not full color. So I've got this band in here that I use when I'm using them. What's I say? Welcome to the Wild Unknown Tarot. You'll find no wrongs or rights inside this box, only mirrors for reflection. Open your mind, draw a card, and have fun on your journey. All right. So it's got a little ribbon in here to pull that out, and then it's just got that infinity symbol again. So when I've got these in use, the old banderoony on there. So I do have these in order now. Love this deck so much. Alright, so this, I'll do it this way. So you have the Fool. It's a, I used to say it was like a little gosling or like a baby swan, but now I know that they're called signets. I can say that it's a signet. Sort of yellow and orange energy here. So instead of a little, a lad and his dog about to jump off a cliff, we have a little fledgling signet hopping off a branch. It's so cute. I love it. Love it. And the back of the deck. Delicious. Fantastic. The Magician here is a snow leopard. Although it could be a regular leopard. It's just not in color. But we have these potentially sun rays, portal rays, in the same orange and yellow that we had over here. So the Magician, we have one of each of the suits here. We've got an infinity symbol like we often find over the Magician's head. I just realized, I'm like disturbed now that could be a regular leopard that's not colored in. In my head, it's a snow leopard, so we're just going to go with that. The High Priestess, a taiga. Now again, she's not colored in, so she could be an orange tiger, but I imagine her to be a white tiger because she's white in hair. Just fine with me. She's got her crystal balls, got something going on in there. There's moon energy. Because the High Priestess card is traditionally ruled by the moon, but this coloration here does lead into that idea of that she should be Piscean, Neptunian. We have the higher chakras up in here. Indigo, Pipal. I love this. I love these cards. So the Empress in this deck is a tree. We've got red and purple next to each other, kind of like the Kundalini wrapping back on itself. But the Empress is a tree here. She is the moon. And the Emperor, because the feminine is the night. And then the Emperor has the sun. Both trees. Here, sort of rounded, more like the womb, and here, sort of angular, more like the more phallic. So the Emperor and the Empress in this deck. Trees. Say trees. Oh, I took a deep breath and choked on my own saliva. The Hierophant. In this deck, we have a crow. I believe that's a crow, because maybe it's a raven. I feel like this is actually a raven here. It's because the beak shape is giving me more raven. I'm like, well, ravens have squarer heads, but because he's crouching down, it's a raven. So he's holding a key. We got some lightning here, giving me that Ben Franklin action. Sort of a eureka moment. That connection to the divine here. The Hierophant. Love it. So the Lovers here, pair of Canadian geese. Rainbow action. The OTP, the one true pair. Love it. So the Chariot here, in this deck I call this Shadowfax, because he's a fast horse. So if sun and moon energy, the masculine and the feminine. He's wearing a pentacle for some reason. And ruled by the moon. Third eye opening. And sort of a portal here. But again, sun and moon, masculine and feminine energy together. Instead of two horses, we just have one really fast one. Sort of red root energy on the corners of the card here. Justice is 8 in this deck. So we have black cat and white cat, basement cat and ceiling cat. Sword of Truth. There is no there's no balance here, but there's the duality of the black and the white. And this sort of a lot of these lines on here kind of remind me of muscle striations, but it's very dimensional. So basement cat and ceiling cat, Justice card, number 8 in this deck. So the Hermit, I love this Hermit. We have the Hurricane Lantern and a turtle. Definitely a turtle. No, this is a tortoise. My bad. I don't know why I said that wrong. A tortoise with a Hurricane Lantern. I mean, just perfect. I love this card. Wheel of Fortune. Looking like a really effed up Dreamcatcher. So the sun and the moon there. We've got an owl. Rainbow energy. Just tangled web kind of energy. It's a little bit unusual for a wheel, but you can see it's sort of like it's more like a medicine wheel than a wheel that's supposed to be spun in this deck. So strength, we have a lion here. I feel like oops, I hit the camera. To make sure that's still in focus. Okay. So this lion, docile looking lion. The sun energy, Leo, in this deck it's 11. He's got the infinity symbol on his head. Usually, I think it's usually the feminine in the strength card has the infinity above her head like the magician, but it could be the lion itself. We have this rose here in his mouth, sort of indicating that feminine energy being present. You know, it's like he doesn't have the thorn in his paws anymore. He's pulled it out. I love this Hanged Man because the bat. It's beautiful. I love it. I mean, what connection to the universe, being able to see in the dark, getting those downloads, illumination. Sonar, I'm getting pinged by the universe. Waiting for those downloads. So we have the death card here. Dead bird, looking like something the cat dragged in. Love it. Don't love it, but it's good. Temperance here, some kind of a crane, maybe. Maybe a crane. Maybe a crane. A little bit of crane. We got fire and water kind of merging in the middle there. Sagittarius energy. I love this. Is it resonant? Yeah, I guess it's like a resonant pattern. You can see it's sort of like fractal little fire loops there. This devil card is great. Look at this goat. It's like a mountain goat. His feet are on fire. A little pentagram on his head. It's beautiful. Love it. So here the tower is kind of like the same tree from the Emperor card, but it's at night now and it's getting struck by lightning and it's on fire. And just very definite cracking, falling energy. So in terms of a deck that's very nature, right? It's called Wild Unknown. This is, I mean, what more can you ask for? Same orange and red and yellow in the border here. So it's Mars energy. So the star here, kind of rainbow colored, little other stars around it. Kind of, this one especially reminds me of when Mario gets a star at the end of the level. You can hear that sound too. So the moon here, the two pillars of the moon are trees, because usually like 2 pillars and a couple of dogs and stuff. So we have 2 trees illuminating in the moon here for the moon. The mirror. Not the most awesome card in the deck, but I mean, it goes. We got a rainbow border here. Nighttime for shizzle. So the sun here, looking a little bit like an anus, but we have a portal. We have birdies and the sun. Sort of blue and green energy on the outside here, but very much a portal, right? I mean, there's a singularity here, and like going through the wormhole. So Judgment, we have a pack of doves here. Notice how these ones are coming up out of the darkness like the people would be, but then we have instead of an angel, we just have this bird outright. And the world, will be a better place. This is like really similar to the star card, except now it's like a bunch of spheres interlocked with each other. Rainbow energy. It's pretty. It's like a little bit kaleidoscope. Alright, so Ace of Wands. Love it. It's like, ha ha ha. Ace of Wands. I like how it's flowering too. Right, the energy is just blooming everywhere. So Two of Wands. Love it. Drumsticks, rainbow energy. Three of Wands. Also love this. I love this rainbow portal situation here, right? Looking into the future. So good. I love it. Four of Wands. Remember those God's Eye popsicle things in elementary school? At least they did when I was in elementary school. We made those out of popsicle sticks and yarn. That's what that reminds me of. This is like even more of a portal. It's like some building on the theme. Strengthening the Stargate kind of energy. Five of Wands. These especially look like muscle sheets. Sheets of muscle fibers. And these are like pinched nerves, kind of. That's how I see this card. They're like injuries. Torn muscles, sprains, things like that. So this combat card might end up being like an internal combat, like a spasmic kind of a thing, which I think is a neat. It's a really useful and interesting, intriguing way of dealing with this Five of Wands. Right, sort of like falling down the rabbit hole, getting like falling out of the ugly tree and hitting every branch on the way down. Six of Wands, the victory card, but here we've got this blue-green butterfly. It's so beautiful. Right, I'm a star. I've look at me. I've transformed. I'm not just, you know, Joe Schmo from down the street. Now I'm Joseph Smuth. Right, whatever. Seven of Wands. Another like contrast here between these six other ones and the one that's holding the flame. It's like these wands don't want to be in illumination. They want to stay in the dark. Eight Wands. Look at this lightning rod. Got a hotline. Information coming in. Alright, this stuff is instantaneous. And even if it wasn't, it's in a wheel formation, so you know something's spinning. Something's on the move. I really like this Nine of Wands as a staircase. Like these logs leading up to the tippy top there. It's like, oh my god, it's a journey, like, what the hell. Ten of Wands is just a hot mess. Brambles. You're trying to get to Sleeping Beauty's castle up in here. I love this deck so much. I love it. So the pages in this are in the vein of where the cards go by sort of like princess, prince, queen, king. Although here it's daughter. So daughter of Wands is where page of Wands would normally be. And I'm going to show these all at once because it makes more sense that way. So we have daughter of Wands, figure 8, small snake on that blooming Ace of Wands branch. Son of Wands is where a prince or the knight would be. Right, he's a little bit older, he's a little bit stronger. The Mother of Wands is the Queen of Wands. So she's a much bigger snake. She's cradling the eggs. She will bite you if you try to take her wand or her bebes. And I feel like this snake The daughter of Wands is one of these little eggs after it's hatched, because it's a much smaller snake. You can tell by the diameter. And there's this youthful essence. This is sort of a eureka moment. And again, this Wands lower chakra energy colors. Then the father of Wands here is where the king would be. We have this cobra that could strike, but we also have this like intense energy here. There's an aspect of coiling too, of energy being stored. And then these are sort of things are on the move, right? This is like a Kundalini rising, and this is like the next loop in an infinite series of information. Really nice. Ace of Cups coming in with a similar texture as the back of the cards. This reminds me of the castle level in the cathedral. It reminds me of cathedral level in the Binding of Isaac video game. So we have this like sunlit illumination coming down to fill this card. It's like on a stained glass field. It's pretty. I like it. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Just to make it extra touchy-feely, we have roses, because red roses are very lovey-dovey. And these are crossing, too. It's like, come on, man. Three of Cups. I like this. Like burn on a wire kind of energy. It gives a little bit of that gossipy kind of energy of a sunrise or sunset here, right? We've been hanging out all day. Or it's like, and it's just a little bit of like two here and one here. So it's giving this like we're adding one on, kind of. But it's definitely, it looks like a get together. Like a party. Twitter party. Is this Moon? Is that the Moon card? Yeah, this is the Moon card. The Moon in Cancer. So we have a rat here on these 4 cups. Because they're gross and nobody wants them. Like, ew. Like who rat turded in these cups? We don't want them. It's nasty. Oh, what the hell was that horse's name? Shadowfax, and the other one is... Oh, I forgot what I called this one. What was that pantomime horse that Craig Ferguson had? I totally forgot its name. Totally spacing it. Anyway, I think that's what I called this one. The sad horse. There was the Late Show. I think it was the Late Show. Craig Ferguson hosted it for like 10 years or whatever. And he had a pantomime horse, and that's what I called this one, but I can't remember what its name is right now because I haven't watched those clips in a while. Really bothering me. It's not Eeyore, it's not Seabiscuit, it's something else really stupid. It's really bothering me now. But anyway, the chariot was Shadowfax, and this one is the other horse that I can't remember its name right now. 5 of Cups. Just a sad horse. Really put out to pasture, man. 6 of Cups. Oh, okay, right. The nostalgic feeling, right? So here's the tree growing up, and here's the past, right? The roots, the family tree kind of stuff. When I was a little kid, when I was a young warthog. 7 of Cups. I really can't describe how much I love this 7 of Cups. Because this represents distractions. Some people say it's options. Right? We don't see a bunch of junk in each of these cups. But I love this card because when it's inverted and you get rid of the distractions, the one true cup is facing into the light. I love this card. This 7 of Cups is... This is the tits right here. So 8 of Cups. So we have the Mountain that's often in the 8 of Cups cards, and then we have all these shattered glasses down here, and we know that we're done with them because we're not just leaving them, they're all broken and chipped and smashed. So some of these cups are more like a chalice, and this is wine glass because of the way it's shattered. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similarly shaped, but I mean, these ones are metal, definitely. These ones probably metal. Probably metal. Looks like a bell. Ding dong. Wine glasses. These cups are like little tumblers, little shot glasses. 9 of Cups. Hitting that, those upper chakras with this coloration here. Where's the 9 of Cups? Jupiter and Pisces. Yeah, I'm definitely hitting that Piscean energy here. This 10 of Cups is great. So we have the rainbow here, but it looks like stage lights or like a cat's cradle situation. Rainbow unicorn attack. So when I said the Fool was a signet, like a baby swan, it's because it looks like the Cups characters. Looks like a little bitty baby swan. So we have the Daughter of Cups, young female swan. The Son of Cups, young male swan. Also rainbow action. We have the Mother of Cups with the rainbow kind of going on in the stars. She's like in flight. She looks a little bit pregnant too, but swan. Baby swan, baby swan, mama swan. And the Father of Cups is the black swan. Really nice. So rainbow, rainbow, nighttime, right? Because feminine energy is night energy. And then the daytime, we get this black swan over here. And it looks like it's raining. So there's the court cards for these. Really nice. This is so cute. Adorable. And with swords. So we have this, isn't it? I was going to see if there's a head on there, but there isn't. Ace of Swords. So we have lightning. We have this infinite loop here that looks like a snake, but there's no head on it. But it's sort of like the Kundalini energy wrapping around in this feedback loop going up and down the chakras. We're in the sky. We've got this universal truths coming in. Just a lot of energy feedback. 2 of Swords. So there's no people here, but we have this portal here. Is that the moon in Libra? Yes, the moon in Libra. So we have this solar eclipse when the moon goes in front of the sun. All right, it's like, and this card's about seeing from another perspective. I mean, what happens when your viewpoint crosses another one? There's either an attack, or when something else is blocked out, you can see this coronal mass ejection better. Interesting thing to think about. This particular 3 of Swords I really like. We have these sinews wrapped up around these swords instead of a heart directly. And I just like that little change of pace. Plus these swords are all slightly different. So it's like, it's not the same wound 3 times. It's 3 entirely different events or issues. Just all tangled up in the heartstrings themselves. 4 of Swords, little lamb here. Psychic lamb. So cute. Just resting, just chilling, hanging out, being cute. Felt cute. Might get cosmic downloads later. This 5 of Swords is sort of outstanding in its field. It's noticeable in its difference, so I like to turn it this way. So we have the Sword of Truth in the middle, and then we have these 2 swords over here, and these 2 crossing over here. Normally, with 5 of Swords, there's 2 off, and then 3 together. And so we're not sure if these are the two that are supposed to be together or these two that are crossed are supposed to be together, but there's this sort of division here. Earthworm, Jim, Plasma. So this Six of Swords, I sometimes get confused and think it's wands because it's piled up like a bunch of wands, but if you're looking very carefully at this card, there are little sword hilts in there. And then we have this rainbow over here. So Six of Swords is that sailing away from the bullshit card, and we see in this oubliette of garbage, there's a little rainbow overhead with some light starting to shine in. I like this Seven of Swords. We have this little fox here, little sly little fox sitting on the truths. Usually there's two swords separate, but here there's only one. So in these cards, it's very, well, not this one, but in these cards, it's very much, we're looking at almost like an ultimatum more than normally would be existing in these. Eight of Swords. I really like this one also. I love this whole deck. Monarch Butterfly ready to come out. Prison of my own making. But there's also an aspect of universal timing in order to come out. Alright, I'm hanging on the truth, ready to make my debut when my wings are dry. So in some respect, there's this like voluntary collapse, but there's also this idea of I'm aligned with my ability to come out. Really nice. Alright, so we have the Nine of Swords, kind of gross. Nightmares, right? I don't know what kind of animal jaw that is. In theory, if it's a nightmare, it should be a horse jaw, but I don't know for sure. I don't know if that... It looks like a carnivore jaw, like a dog or something, a wolf. But I mean, there's this rotting decay, zombie kind of essence here. Although if this was really a rotting animal, the eyeballs would be the first to go, and you wouldn't even have them there after the flesh was eaten, because they're the soft, decadent parts that critters like to eat first. But we have this nightmare. I mean, what's more nightmare fuel than something dead looking at you, I guess. But this one's another one that I like to turn sideways when I'm looking at it. So the Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords is overkill. So we have this buffalo with it right through the eyes. Ten of Swords. Sun in Gemini. Alright. The buffalo. Tatanka. I mean, and they're not just in the back. There's one right through his eyeballs. Like harkening back. He left his eyeballs in the number 9 card. But anyway, there's this buffalo here. The overkill. So in the swords, we have owls. So we have the daughter here. Just chilling. You have the sun here, very active, like a knight would be. Charged attack. We have the mother, the queen here. Queen of Swords. Surveying, observing, calculating. On top of shit. And then the Father of Swords comes in here. Serious business. He's got these chakras all lit up in his sword. Like the truth up and down. So, really nice owl family. I mean, they're not the same species of owl, but you get the idea. So we get Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, tree rings. How neat is that? It's a good idea. It's red and yellow, or orange, red, and chartreuse center. There we go. I'm gonna be specific. Two of Pentacles. We have the butterfly machine here. Cat's cradle situation. So the choice here. Just nicely done. Somehow these got out of order. Probably because I didn't do them right. So this Three of Pentacles doesn't have a cathedral, but it has a mountain, which is sort of nature's cathedral. And then we have these Three Pentacles scrawled down here like some kind of a petroglyph or a map. Like, how do I get to the mountaintop? Well, you go here, and then you go here, and you go over here. Triangulate. This reminds me of the mountain card in the Lenormand deck. But it is nature's cathedral here. The mountain. The Four of Pentacles. The, like, don't know when to hold, when to fold card comes in like a very tangled up machinery. Very, very much more cat's cradle even than the butterfly on the 2 card. So this is rubber band machine here. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a very sad flower. Sort of out in the cold, decaying. Very sad and droopy. Six of Pentacles is... This card is interesting. God damn it, I wish I could stop saying that. It's interesting. Oh, this is 7. Did I put these out of order again? Where's the 6? No, this is the 6. I confused myself. This is the 6 of Pentacles. This card is the reason why when I did my music deck, I made the 6 of Pentacles, Jane Oliver's The Right Garden. Alright. In order, like the soil is pH balanced and this plant is finally growing. There's an even distribution of buds across it. You know, things are coming up evenly, right? My manifestation isn't limping, it's coming along. It's right? It's balanced. It's growing on all sides, just like Susan over here. There. That's what that card looks like. Okay. So we have... this is... It differs from the usual giving to the poor charitable, but balanced growth. That's really where the 6s tend to hit. It's like a stairway landing when you're climbing up the minor arcana at the 6s. So we have this balanced growth here. And the 7 of Pentacles comes in, and I often see this sort of corner shape with the pentacles in a row in an 8 of Pentacles. But here it's like I'm trying to get everything lined up. Like I'm trying to, like I'm trying to corner everything to a certain direction. Like, are we there yet? I'm plotting my course or expanding my boundaries, like piece by piece. So this 8 of Pentacles, spiderweb action, networking, manifestation. Very nice. 8 legs, 8 pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is a nest. You can see that it's a nest because there's feathers here holding in all the little baby pentacles. Right, I've been protecting my manifestation. I've been nurturing it, right? Nurturing it. Keep holding it in. And then in the 10 of Pentacles, we have the same 9 by 9, but there's one in the middle has the 10th pentacle rising up out of it like it was opening up a portal. And we see that once we get to this stage where the 10 pentacles, not only does it create this wheel shape, but it just sort of expands beyond the boundaries that started here. Like root and sacral energy, and here it's like all the energy. So 9 and 10 of Pentacles. So then in the court cards, they're deer. So we have the Daughter of Pentacles, a little spotty still, a little baby deer with the rainbow. She's a rainbow. Son of Pentacles, he looks like he's ready for battle here, because he would be a knight in a regular deck. The Mother of Pentacles, she got a little baby, so cute. Grounded manifestation. And the Father of Pentacles is charging up his crown energy with all these different chakra energies right up into the crown, getting into that those cosmic downloads there, tied to the earth but also dwelling in the spiritual. And here the Mother is bringing down new energy into the earth, and then we have this sort of learning your place in the world kind of stuff, and then we have this like, oh, it's so pretty here kind of energy. So those aren't like the only meanings for those cards, but I'm just kind of riffing on the imagery right now. This Father of Pentacles, he looks like a dick. Like one of those really tiny little things, but then he's got like regular deer antlers. I don't know if he's just drawn at a weird angle, but he looks like a different species of deer, like a really little teeny one. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just interesting the way his face is drawn, and I'm not sure if that was intentional. But I had to say it because I saw it. Because I see something. Okay, so these cards, they're a little bit thicker than some other cards. They're a hefty cardstock. They're not like super thick, like a plastic, but they're like matte, smooth cardstock. A little bit more like a paperboard, but not quite that thick. You can hear it. Pretty hefty. They can be slightly hard to shuffle till they're broken in, but they break in pretty well, I think. The only issue really in terms of shuffling is because it's, I just messed up the camera. My tripod is soggy because it's kind of cheap, but it's alright. Let me get my hands. Okay. So these are on the long side, I guess, for tarot cards. I think the Hay House cards might be a little bit shorter, but they're wider, so they're just as hard to hold on to. But the only hardness in shuffling this is because it's 78 card thicker deck, but it goes pretty well. Once it's broken in, especially. This is a couple years old, this deck. Let me do the sideways. Works pretty well too if you got smaller hands and you can't hold it like this. And then on end they shuffle nicely as well, unless you throw them over your hand like I did. So aesthetically, this deck is like all up in my wheelhouse. I love it, love it, love it. There. So, and I understand that it might not be everybody's aesthetic, but I love it. I recommend it. It's good size, good heft, nice stock, and the box is nice too. So, individual like box. And because they're a little bit bent, that just fits in there nicely like that. Sort of satisfying air smush. There we go. Alright, so that is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And I do have the other two decks that I know of as well. That's like too close. Can't see the little paper clip up there. Kitty cat. Okay. If you'd like to get a tarot reading, the complete list of readings that I offer and how much they cost. Come on, focus. It's going to be in the description box underneath this video. I also have on my little WordPress site there, I have the home page, and then I have another page that's also the list of readings that I offer. And the only difference is that it's got a green background and little pictures. But you can also check out my readings for sale playlist here on YouTube, and then you can see videos of those readings in action. I think in the older ones I quoted prices, and I've since changed them, so I think I've got disclaimers in the description box underneath those where I've changed them. The all except the newest videos underneath are gonna be missing the new reading, which is the past life reading. But this video will have the fully updated list underneath it. And I think that's it. I've got merch and prints and actual art items over here, Cafe Press, DeviantArt, and Etsy. There's a coupon code there. If you get 3 or more items, 17% off. If you go through the link tree to Etsy, that should pop right in. These are all Cat Dominion as a user. I've got 2 coloring books and a dark poetry book over on Amazon. So all of these things, including my email and social media, are going to be through the link tree. If you'd like to help keep this channel running, you can donate, energy exchange, hit that tip jar, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.